Hi YouTube, it's Julie, and it's time for my weekly weigh-in. Today is September the 13th, 09, and it is a gorgeous Sunday morning here in my neck of the world, and it's a little overcast, a little breezy, but it's still warm, it's real nice. So I'm very happy with how today is starting out. Today I had my weigh-in, and if you'll remember, my first weigh-in was 251.2, and then last week I gained 3 pounds and weighed in at 254.2. And this morning I have lost weight, woohoo! And I weighed in at 250.5. So from last week that was a loss of 3.7, and then from my first weight, which really, I don't want to go back to my up weight, so I guess I'll start from my original weight. I've lost 0.7 from my starting weight. So I'm feeling good. It's not a full pound, but it's still pretty good, and it's a weight loss. Double. And so, you know, who doesn't like to have a weight loss? So, this baby and I went to a Greek festival with my sister and a couple of my friends this weekend on Friday, and it was a lot of fun. It was a Greek festival, so there was a lot of Greek food, you know, baklava, gyros, domatis, or domatis, I don't know how to pronounce those little grape leaf thingies, but I did eat some delicious Greek food and had a lot of fun. I tried to keep it in moderation. I didn't pig out, and so that was probably part of my weight loss, and we did walk around quite a bit at this little Greek festival. Then yesterday I actually went to a little sustainable living, kind of a green expo, which taught us about sustainable plants, life, you know, plants that should go in this area that don't take as much water, that can help to keep the world a little greener. And we walked around quite a bit there, and it was actually really funny because I took my dog to this one because you can take your pet, and, sorry, my baby's being grumpy. I had him, because he's still not really good on his leash yet, so I had him in the basket of my stroller. So underneath my stroller is just like a little basket for junk. And everybody just loved seeing my funny little puppy under the basket, just being funny. So it was a lot of fun, and we learned quite a bit of neat things, and I got out, I exercised, I got a little sunburn on my face, and just had a really enjoyable day. Also yesterday I spent a bulk of my day canning, bottling, whatever you want to call it. My family, we bottle 4 things. We bottle strawberry jam, apricot jam, a chili sauce, which we eat on like eggs, and that's about what I eat it on. And we also can stewed tomatoes, which can be as like a base, kind of like the tomatoes you get in the little cans at the grocery store anyways. They just have little chunks, and it's mostly, you know, like a tomatoey juice. But we use it as a base for spaghetti sauce and soups, and it's really great and really inexpensive if you bottle it yourself. So we had a lot of fun bottling yesterday, and I'm actually going to head to bottling here shortly also. But it's just been a good week. You know, I haven't gotten a lot of actual exercise, but I have done a little bit more active stuff. So this coming week I'm really hoping to pump up the actual exercise. I've been kind of plotting a route in my mind of where I want to go on a walk with the baby, and it has a little bit of some hill action, so I think it'll be a really good walk for us. Kind of chat with you guys about a couple of things. I don't know if any of you guys have read the book Naturally Thin by Bethenny Frankel. She's one of the Real Housewives of New York, and I really quite love the book. I didn't add it all into my life. I haven't incorporated it, but I do want to incorporate a whole lot of it into my life, if not all of it eventually. Some of the stuff she talks about was so profound to me. Like, I just would read a page and just think, wow, I could do this, but still haven't. But one thing that she talks about that I really, really, really want to start incorporating into my life is the point of diminishing returns. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this before. I'd never heard of it before I read it. But basically what she says is, when you're eating something, there's a point where it starts to flatline and probably even decrease at the pleasure you're getting from it. So, for example, if you're eating a piece of cake, the first bite is just mind-blowingly delicious. Second bite is just great. Third bite, oh, it's so good. Fourth bite, and then you just start mindlessly eating. And so what she says is you need to find that point where it goes from, this is awesome, to now I'm just eating. And so that's something that I'm really going to try to watch. You know, your body apparently will tell you when you hit that point. You know, you can tell. So something she just gets into a lot is paying attention to what you're eating. Don't just eat mindlessly. You know, Don't just sit at the TV and just munch, munch, munch. Don't sit at the computer and eat. Just go to a place, eat, think about what you're eating, and when you're at that point that your returns are diminishing, stop. So this week I'm going to really work hard on that. I did want to talk briefly about two of my favorite things to eat that are two of the worst things I eat. I love butter and bacon. I really love butter on my toast. And it's not like a little teeny bit of butter. I really like butter. I grew up with a lot of butter in my house. My dad is a huge butter fan. He eats butter on anything. And I mean, we're not talking little bits of butter. I mean, we're not even talking the amount of butter I like. I mean, we're talking a lot of butter. You know, my mom would make biscuits or something, and my dad would just lather the butter on. So I grew up in a home where there was a lot of butter. In fact, my dad went on a cruise a couple years ago and told the waiter, you know, that he liked butter and that he needed more butter. And so every morning he had to ask again and again and again, I want more butter, more butter, more butter. And they just never were able to satisfy his butter needs. And so he got really upset with this cruise line. And turned out my sister-in-law's brother worked for that particular cruise line, and I told him the story, and he had a good laugh because it turns out that some of the cruise lines basically hoard butter because butter is a little bit more expensive and it's not something that they want to have go to waste. And so they bring out just the minimum, and if you ask for more, you get more, kind of a deal. So I told my dad, and he said, well, too bad, they've lost my business, because he just loves his butter. So my dad will never use a cruise line again because they did not give him enough butter. That's how much butter has been a part of my life. I also love bacon. Bacon is just so delicious. Who can't love bacon, you know? I like bacon on my sandwiches, bacon on my, you know, not my toast, on my eggs. I like bacon, everything. I love club sandwiches. Typically when I go out to eat, I'll get some kind of a sandwich, and usually it will have some bacon on it, you know, some kind of a club or a BLT, and so I'm really hoping to be able to find alternatives to butter and bacon. If anyone has any good options, please let me know. I've tried turkey bacon, but I've just never really been able to find the glory in turkey bacon. It just doesn't cook up the same crispy, delicious, greasy way. And so I find it lacking a little bit, but that's about it. I've had a weight loss. I like butter and bacon. I'm going to try to find the diminishing returns of my eating, and I guarantee I'm going to exercise this week. I give you my word. So I hope everyone has a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks. Bye.